What's up everybody? Welcome back to the Fayze Reviews YouTube channel. My name is Jordan, aka DJ Fayze, and if you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you're coming back, then welcome. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a review of the Chauvet Intimidator Spot 155. This is the moving head that I have used in my mobile DJ business for the past 4 years, and I think it's one of the best values in moving head lights on the market right now. I'm going to tell you why I love this light, how I use it, and why I think it's one of the best values for a mobile DJ. Before we get started, I would love if you subscribe to the channel and follow me on Instagram at DJ Fayze, F-A-Y-Z-E. But without any further ado, let's dive into the review. All right, so let's start off with a few important features and specs of this light. Now, if you're new to this channel, one of the things I don't like to do is to go over every single function and feature and spec of this light because there are plenty of views and unboxings that already do that. I want to give you guys practical advice that you're going to use and need as a mobile DJ. So one of the first things that's most important to know about this light is that it has a 25 watt white LED. Now 25 watts is definitely not the biggest you can go in a moving head light. But most portable, lower entry level, lowest rung on the ladder moving headlights you can get are going to only have a 10 or a 12 watt LED. I think the 25 watt is a significant step up. I've owned Chauvet like duos, and I've owned ADJ pocket spots, and those are okay moving headlights, but their LED is really dim at only 10 or 12 watts. This one with the 25 watt I feel like has significantly more output than the really cheap entry-level fixtures. This is still on the lower end of Chauvet's pricing spectrum, on the lower end of their moving head lines, but I do think that it's a significant step up over the bottom rung of the ladder. Now, besides the 25 watt LED, you're going to have 9 gobos and 9 colors, and they're on separate wheels. This is another step up from your basic moving head fixture where those are usually combined. So you're going to be able to combine any of the gobos with any of the colors and do that separately through DMX, which is super nice. You don't have to be constrained, oh, my stars are always going to be blue and my crescent is always going to be yellow. You can adjust that how you see fit. One of the best uses for that is for me when I do a slow dance, maybe at a school dance or a church dance, I can do white stars on the wall and I'm not constrained to a certain color for the stars. They can be white, but if I want to use the stars for another program, they can be a different color. This light on the front here has a manual focus ring. So this ring right here itself turns. This is something that comes along with the fact that this is a lower end light. Higher end ones will allow you to adjust the focus through DMX, but for most mobile DJs, this can kind of be set it and forget it. I honestly haven't adjusted mine since I bought the lights. I took them into a medium-sized room, got a good focus for the far wall, and just kind of have left it. It has a pretty good range when it's moving through your venue of staying in focus for the majority of that range, which I really like. Now you'll notice on the front, you've got your typical 4-button display here for adjusting all the parameters of the light, as well as a little fan. It's very quiet. I've had no issues with this being noisy during a wedding or any more quiet, intimate events. So this is good to keep the light cool, and it's really not too loud at all. I'm gonna flip the light around to the back so that you can see connection-wise, you have your typical DMX in and out, as well as power in and out. Now, I love that Chauvet lights have just a regular Edison plug output. So if you need to daisy chain your fixtures, this is super easy to plug into. Some manufacturers just have an IEC plug, which is more specialized. Most people don't have a ton of those laying around, or you have to buy them if you don't. This is nice that just any light, any fixture at all can just plug straight into here. The last thing I wanted to highlight as far as the features and specs of the light is the fact that this light has built-in movement macros. What that means is normally if you're programming DMX, you're gonna have to, if you're using like a hardware controller, you're gonna have to program a scene, maybe in one position, then you're gonna have to program another scene, and then another scene, and then another scene, right? And even if you're using a DMX program with like an effects generator, you're gonna have to draw out, you know, your movement pattern, what have you. This light has built-in movement macros. So if you're in a crunch for programming time, this light has some movements already built in, but not assigned to a color or a gobo, which means you can just set your movement macro slider to, let's say, a circle, and the light will just start doing a circle, right? And then you can layer on top of that a color or a gobo or any combination thereof. So it gives you a lot of programming flexibility while saving you time on having to create your own movements if you don't want to do that. I love that feature. Those are the movement macros. And what's neat about it is that if you're just using this light in standalone or sound activated, the light's just picking and choosing colors and gobos for you. But if you're using DMX and using the movement macros, it's just going to move in black, and you can add the colors and the gobos yourself, which is really awesome. Flipping this back around to the front, finishing up with just a few thoughts on this light. Why I chose this and why I think this is a good value. I think this light for the mobile DJ that's doing weddings, sweet 16s, small corporate events, anything that's, within a couple hundred people, this light strikes the perfect balance for me between a small form factor but a powerful enough output to do your average event. Now, with that being said, this is not a pro grade moving head. This is not going to cast a really strong light through a fully lit room, right? If that's your need, you probably want to look elsewhere. But if you're doing a party where you can dim the lights, turn off the lights, this is going to be plenty for you. Now, just to give you an idea of their output, this is not ideal, but I did a college dance for a little over 1,000 people. I had 4 of these in a really large gymnasium, and these hit the back wall, no sweat. And it was definitely a clear, defined gobo at that distance, even in such a large room with a huge crowd. So when called upon, these things can definitely deliver. They're probably not the first choice if you're doing such large events like that, but in a pinch, they will do. Anything else important to know? This light has your typical 540 degree rotation as well as 270 degrees of tilt. So a lot of free play there, and you can adjust the range of the pan and tilt if you want to limit it to 360 or 180 pan in the menu, just like you can with other lights. One thing to note is that this light doesn't have a totem mode. Some of Chauvet's higher end moving heads will give you an option to set this on a totem in sound active or auto mode. Click totem mode and it will know the confines of the totem and not like shoot backwards into your face. This light doesn't have that. Again, if you're DMX programming, that shouldn't be an issue, but for those guys that want to run these in standalone or sound active, that's important to know. Other than that, I think it's a fantastic light and you definitely need to pick one up. Well, that was a look at the Chauvet Intimidator Spot 155. Again, I think this is one of the best values on the market for the specs, the brightness, the output, and its compact footprint. I don't think this can be beat for the average mobile DJ. If you're doing weddings, sweet 16s, events up to maybe 100, 150 people, you can't go wrong with a pair of these. They set down easily on totems, especially my portable Novo Pro ones, and I really think it's one of the best ways to go if you want a really professional moving head light in a small compact package. If you want to pick up one of these guys or a pair of them or even more, there's a link in the description. If you purchase through that link, it'll help me fund this channel and bring you guys awesome reviews. Again, if you like this channel, I would love if you subscribed, follow me on Instagram, and as always, thank you for watching.